Hello, and thanks for tuning in. So I'm Greta, and today I have for you a short practice sequence that is just highlighting some of my favorite supported backbends. So we're going to look at approximately 4 different backbend variations using chairs and using a bolster as well and a block. So the props you will need are a backless yoga chair, a bolster, and then also a yoga block. But of course, if you don't have all those things, you can always improvise, take one of these poses, take what you want. Also, if you like what you see today, if you appreciate what I'm offering, please remember to like and subscribe to this channel. Also, you can find me on Patreon at patreon.com/GretaKentStall. And I do offer live classes as well, so you can check out all that I'm doing at GretaKentStall.com, Instagram, iYogaGreta. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. So one of the things that I love about backbends is that they are very uplifting poses, they're invigorating, they help to build courage. And also, if they're done with supports, they can become more accessible, and they can even be quieting and soothing for your mind, even while being invigorating at the same time. Also, working with supports in backbends is a really good way to help break up. A lot of us tend to get kind of tightness in the upper back, the middle back, and this can lead to all kinds of different issues, even headaches. And so working with supports can really help to mobilize those more stubborn parts of the upper back. So the first backbend we have here, this is a variation of Urdhva Dhanurasana, upward facing bow pose. And I'm going to begin actually a little bit further from the wall here. It may take a couple tries to find your distance from the wall. Now watch carefully with my feet. So the toes, the balls of my feet are down, the heels are up on the front leg of the chair, and I'm not going to change that leg position. So I stay connected to the chair. Then I hook my shoulder blades on the back. I arc and curl from the bottom armpit to top armpit, and then lift up, take the buttocks up, and then test and see where you are at the wall. Okay, so I'm fairly close to the wall. For me, that's okay because I can push away from the wall and then even slide my hands down and get this opening here. Again, notice I'm connected to the chair. The middle upper back is on the chair seat and my feet have not changed positions. However, if you're newer to this, you may need to start a little bit further from the wall because we want to get those arms straight overhead. So let's try again, keeping all those same actions of the legs and feet. And then there we go, that's a good distance. So you can start with the hands about shoulder height and then work on opening the palms, pressing evenly through the circumference of each palm, straighten the elbows, relax your head, and then draw the tailbone in and up and contract where the hamstrings meet the buttocks to get the hips to go up. And you might be able to stay here for several breaths. Just keep a smooth, natural breath, abdomen relaxed. Also, outer thighs up, so we don't want to splay the legs like this, but keep those thighs up. And you can repeat this pose several times. Now, there's another way to work with this pose where you just work on the upper back portion. So this way you don't even really need to be near the wall. You can just stay seated in the chair and even sort of slouch down on the chair a little bit. And then you're going to raise those arms up and back. And I have just the bottoms of my shoulder blades hooked on the chair seat. And you can do, again, this one a few times, several times. And you may start to find that you can begin to mobilize those different stubborn areas of the upper back. All right, so definitely a good pose to repeat. So then the next one we have, this is a little bit more of an active way of doing a supported backbend. So I'm going to take Urdhva Dhanurasana, upward facing bow pose, using the chair. So I put my sticky mat on the chair seat, and then I carefully step through the chair, sit well into the chair. So my sacrum tailbone is hooked on the back seat of the chair. And then from here, I lie down, press at the thumb mounds, and just slide out that chair a little bit. Keep the knees bent. And then press into the feet, lift the hips up, lift the buttocks up off the chair seat. And do this a few times. So this will help strengthen the hamstrings and the glutes. And then also, as you do this, you can start to create this arc in the upper back that's really a key element in back bending. So this sequence today, it's not really for beginners. This is definitely geared towards more intermediate students or continuing beginners. So just bear that in mind. If you are a beginner and you're watching this, that you may need to check out some of my other recordings or come to a live class and get some of the background to be able to do these poses in a way that is suitable for you. All right, so the next one we'll do, we're going to take Urdhva Dhanurasana again, and now this time I'm putting a block flat. So I'm putting the block flat on the back part of the chair. So again, this is Urdhva Dhanurasana, upward facing bow pose. And then a bolster. And then again, I carefully step through that chair. So I carefully step through. You're going to place your sacrum on that block and then knees bent, feet down. Don't let the feet turn out here. Keep those feet facing forward. And then you arc over the bolster. And then you can see how this is a highly supported back bend. So you can start to create that upward facing bow, Urdhva Dhanurasana shape with support. Now from here, you can have the arms how I'm doing. You can also just fold the hands and rest the hands on the torso. Let your head relax. Let the breath be smooth and soft. Relax your abdomen. Or you could also reach overhead and work on placing the hands for Urdhva Dhanurasana. And so here you can see I'm in the shape of that pose, but it's way less effort than if I was pushing up from the floor. So with that said, then I can stay here for a while, for maybe a few minutes, and get some of the benefits of the pose, work on the refinements of the pose, some of the key actions without having to put all the effort in to push up again and again. And then to come out, you'll bend the elbows, press into the seat of the chair, lift up, and sit up straight and tall. Just give yourself a moment here. So let the blood pressure normalize, let the circulation normalize. So again, these are definitely geared to those students who have some experience. There are other stages and more preparatory poses you'd want to do first and learn first from a teacher if you're a more beginning student. All right, and then the last pose we will do today is we'll take the name of the pose. So the name of the pose is Dvipada Viparita Dandasana, so two-footed inverted staff pose. And I'm going to actually put my feet up on my couch. So if you have a couch that you're okay to put your feet on, or even another chair, or something like that gets the feet at the same level of the hips, that's what we're going for. And then you'll see how I use this bolster as well. So again, I carefully step into the chair, and then you're going to sit down in front of the bolster, take the legs up on the support, and then from here, scoot the hips, the buttocks, the sacrum up on the bolster, straighten the legs out, and then you'll take the arms overhead. So now my hips are up on the bolster. That bolster is also hitting me and sort of supporting my lumbar spine, and the legs are straight at approximately hip height. Now, in this pose, it actually has a very lovely, relaxing quality. I feel like I could be here for quite a while. I can work on my arms, so I can press to the hands, take the upper arms from outside in, and just be here. And then I can also take my hands in a Shirshasana headstand position, press the outer wrist down, and then start to work on the more classical shape of the pose. So for those yoga practitioners out there who know Dvipada Viparita Dandasana, you'll recognize now the position of the arms and the shoulders and the upper body. And then I can maybe even slide down a little bit. So my head's actually just barely grazing the floor, but it's not about getting the head to the floor. You could also put a blanket or two on the floor to build the height up. That would work as well. And then focus on easy breathing here. So legs are straight, press the outer wrist down, and then relax the abdomen. And can you take steady, easy breaths here and just be in this pose and enjoy the pose? So working with supports and back bends has a number of benefits. So it teaches us to do the poses in ways that sometimes we don't know how to do otherwise. A prop can teach something about the pose, and it can also give us the opportunity to stay longer in the pose as well. And then you'll want to carefully come out of this one. So bend the knees, knees bent, feet flat on the floor, press through the hands, press through the elbows, lift up the chest, and sit up. Now, normally you wouldn't do these poses just in isolation, but you would do this as part of a sequence. So you can check out some of my other recordings on Backbend sequences, or check out my live classes, or become a Patreon to get the full span of how these poses would fit into a practice sequence. But if you are a practitioner, hopefully this will give you some new fun ideas or remind you of some old favorite ways to practice backbends with support. So again, thanks for tuning in. If you like this, please like and comment, and don't forget to like and subscribe as well, and check me out at gretakenstall.com. Thank you.